see, for me to give you my Christmas gift, this is the perfect place for me to give you my Christmas gift because I'm looking at it. And it's not you. It's not you. It's that church over there. That's the church of St. Martin in the Fields. And my Christmas gift is just to tell you about that church. Now, it's not like I'm not going to give you a Christian gospel because that church is far more special than any Christian gospel. Although I suppose it's inspired by the Christian gospel. I'll tell you a few things about that church. Of course, it's in a very special place, Trafalgar Square, the great square of the nation. So therefore, it's the parish church of the Queen of England, who lives over there. That's her parish church. You all have your church or synagogue or mosque. Well, that's the Queen's parish church. It's also the church of the British Admiralty. It's the #1 church because this is the Admiralty Square. So that's where all the Navy people come, you know, the officers and admirals for their special ceremonies. But that's not what's important about St. Martin in the Fields. St. Martin in the Fields for 100 years has been the one place in England where the destitute have been taken care of. I remember going in there 20 years ago and they had homeless people sleeping all over the church, a bit like St. Bartholomew's in New York. But just 3 years ago, a man I know, he's now the Bishop of Salisbury, he redid that church and they spent £36 million rebuilding St. Martin's. And you know what he did? Of course he did up the beautiful church, which we're going to go in and see. And he got a beautiful new window, which is extraordinary at the back of the church. I want to show you that window because extraordinarily, it's an abstract piece and it's made by a Muslim Iranian woman. She created it. She's a famous artist. And she's now building a new high altar for St. Martin in the Fields. A Muslim Iranian woman is building the altar of that church. That tells me all I need to know about the openness of that place. Now, but that's not what they spent the 36 million on. They spent the 36 million developing the crypt of the church, which we're going to see, where they now have, well, they have one of the most beautiful restaurants in London. They have 3 different arms in that church. The first arm is the liturgical life of the church. It's a parish. The second arm is they give beautiful concerts every evening and raise a great deal of money. That's how they keep themselves going, because it's a big, big operation. Another part of that money making is a beautiful restaurant in the crypt, one of the nicest in London. Organic food, not too expensive. It's a lovely place to meet people and it's got a lovely atmosphere. We'll see it. But the most important part is they have in that crypt developed a huge homeless shelter. They can look after 200 homeless people every day. They have 2 doctors, MDs, there full-time, a lawyer. They have lockers for every homeless person so they can keep their things. They've got an address that they can use because, you know, when you're homeless, where does people send your Christmas cards? But they send them to you there at St. Martin in the Fields. They can keep 40 people there overnight. They're mostly treating them during the day, but at night they have 40 spaces for them. That's how they spent their money. And they pay for that with concerts, very grand concerts, candlelit concerts in the evening. And they pay for it with the restaurant and the shops and things we'll see. So they have a big business, a church, and this huge philanthropic action. So now that's my gift to you. I am inspired by that building. I'm inspired that in the 21st century, they saw what it was all about, really. And it wasn't all about being the Queen's Parish Church, and it wasn't all about being the Admiralty Grand Church, like many others would be happy to be. It was about the real thing. Homeless people in London, there are many of them. And here they have a refuge. A real refuge. Not just, oh, we'll give you some bread, we'll give you a cup of tea. We'll give you what you need. A lawyer, a doctor, a locker, an address, friendship, a psychiatrist. Many of the people who live on the streets, their minds are ill-adjusted because maybe they were drug addicts. They have lots of addiction counselors there. Real help for real people. That's what Christmas is about. So I want to finish this gift, and it is a gift, and we're going to go in there just to have a look. I want to show you the window. I love that window. It's so strange. And I talked to one of the choristers who sings in there every day, and she told me, she said there's something about that window. I'm not a Christian at all, but that window has me captivated. I don't know what it is. Every time I see it, I see something different. So, my song is a song about London, and about homeless people, so it's perfect. It's called The Streets of London, and Patrick knows that I sang it on a megaphone at Speaker's Corner on Sunday. I don't have my megaphone, but my voice is as beautiful as yours. But I'll do my best. Have you seen the old man in the closed down market? He's kicking up the papers with his worn out shoes. In his eyes you'll see no lies, his hands held loosely by his side. Yesterday's papers telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. Have you seen the old girl who walks the streets of London? There's dirt in her hair and her clothes are in rags. She's no time for talking, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home into carrier bags. And how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. In an all-night cafe at 11:15, that same old man sitting there on his own, looking at the world over the rim of his teacup. Each tea lasts an hour, and he wanders home alone. And how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind.